Johnny Manziel is diving headfirst into a growing social media feud that has caught the attention of both football fans and pop culture enthusiasts alike. The drama initially started between former NFL quarterback Cam Newton and Philadelphia rapper and podcast host Gillie, but now Manziel has entered the fray, escalating tensions by issuing a fiery and personal threat against Gillie. This feud, although seemingly rooted in football opinions, has taken a very personal and aggressive turn, blurring the lines between sports commentary and outright hostility. To understand how it all unfolded, let's go back to the spark that ignited the controversy. Cam Newton, the former Carolina Panthers star and NFL MVP, made waves after he publicly shared his list of the top 10 quarterbacks currently playing in the league. Notably absent from this list was Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, a young star who had recently led his team to victory in Super Bowl LAX against the Kansas City Chiefs. Newton's omission of Hurts didn't go unnoticed, especially by die-hard Eagles fans, including Gillie, who is not only a prominent rapper but also co-host of the highly popular podcast $1 Million Worth of Game, took to social media to voice his outrage. As a proud Philadelphia native and Eagles supporter, Gillie found Cam's snub of Hurts downright disrespectful. In a now viral video clip, Gillie dramatically held up a replica of the Super Bowl trophy, using it as a visual weapon to taunt Cam Newton for never having won one during his NFL career. Gillie's jab hit a nerve. Cam Newton, while undoubtedly a force during his prime and a former MVP, never managed to claim the NFL's ultimate prize, the Lombardi Trophy. Enter Johnny Manziel. Known for his own roller coaster ride through professional football and a career marked by both exhilarating highs and concerning lows, Manziel didn't hesitate to leap into the ring to defend Cam. In a profanity-laced tirade posted across his social media accounts, Johnny went all in on Gillie. He branded Gillie as the biggest fing loser on the planet, slamming him for criticizing athletes when, in Manziel's words, Gillie had done nothing of note on the football field himself. Johnny's insults didn't stop at verbal barbs. He made it clear that if he ever encountered Gillie in person, he wouldn't hesitate to get physical, threatening to slap the F out of him. The statement alone sent shockwaves through social media, with fans and commentators alike wondering if the feud was spiraling out of control. If that wasn't enough, Johnny followed up with an additional post that took things even further. He mockingly told Gillie to take Jalen Hurts' you-know-what out of his mouth, implying that Gillie's defense of Hurts was less about football analysis and more about blind idolization. This particular comment intensified the controversy and stirred additional debate about the boundaries of online sports talk and the level of personal insult that should be tolerated. Interestingly, Jalen Hurts himself has yet to address the situation publicly. Given his rising stardom and recent Super Bowl win, many are waiting to see if the young quarterback will step in to either de-escalate the tension or defend Gillie, who so passionately went to bat for him. As of now, Hurts has remained silent, perhaps choosing to focus on his game rather than getting involved in off-field drama. Meanwhile, Cam Newton finds himself at the center of a whirlwind of opinions. Despite not playing in the NFL since 2021, Newton remains a polarizing figure. His MVP season in 2015 and dynamic play style made him one of the most talked-about players of his era, but injuries and inconsistencies marred the later stages of his career. While he has not officially retired from professional football, no team has signed him in recent years. His decision to exclude Jalen Hurts from his top 10 list has drawn criticism from multiple corners, including respected former NFL players, like Ryan Clark, Terrell Owens, and Dan Orlovsky. Each of them voiced their confusion and disagreement with Cam's ranking, especially considering Hurts' performance and leadership during the Super Bowl winning season. The deeper issue here may go beyond football statistics and personal rankings. What this situation reveals is the ever-blurring line between sports analysis and personal branding. Today's athletes and media personalities often use social media as a stage not just to share opinions, but to make statements that spark engagement, provoke reactions, and elevate their visibility. In this case, Cam's rankings, Gillie's clapback, and Manziel's threats have all contributed to a viral spectacle. And in today's digital age, going viral often holds more currency than being right or wrong. For Johnny Manziel, this moment is particularly interesting. Once dubbed Johnny Football and viewed as the future of the Cleveland Browns, his fall from grace was swift. Issues with partying, commitment, and professionalism haunted his short-lived NFL career. Since then, he has had brief stints in the CFL and other football leagues, but has largely remained in the public eye more for his controversies than his achievements on the field. His decision to go after Gillie so aggressively could be interpreted as a desire to remain relevant, or perhaps as genuine loyalty to Cam Newton, a fellow quarterback who also faced intense public scrutiny during his career. As for Gillie the Kid, he continues to be a significant voice in the culture. With millions of followers and a podcast that consistently charts among the most popular, his influence stretches beyond music and into sports, lifestyle, and commentary. His role in this feud may enhance his status as a passionate and outspoken fan, but it also places him in the crosshairs of athletes who may not appreciate being on the receiving end of his critiques. Whether or not the situation turns physical, as Johnny Manziel has threatened, remains to be seen. One can only hope that cooler heads prevail and that the discourse, however heated, remains within the realm of words rather than actions. Cam Newton, for his part, might need to address the growing chorus of voices questioning his quarterback rankings. While it's true that personal opinions about players can vary, leaving off a Super Bowl-winning quarterback who played an instrumental role in his team's success does raise eyebrows, especially when that quarterback is widely viewed as one of the top dual-threat talents in the game today. Cam's football insights carry weight given his experience, but such controversial takes are bound to spark backlash, particularly when they appear to dismiss the accomplishments of others. In the end, this saga is about more than just football. It's a reflection of how sports, entertainment, and ego collide in a digital arena where every opinion, every insult, and every reaction can be broadcast to millions. Fans are drawn to the drama, watching as former and current players, entertainers, and influencers battle it out, not on the gridiron, but on their phones and podcasts. As for what happens next, much will depend on whether those involved choose to escalate or de-escalate the situation. One thing is certain. With personalities as big as Cam Newton, Johnny Manziel, and Gillie the Kid involved, this story isn't fading anytime soon. In fact, some fans believe this situation could morph into something bigger than a Twitter feud. The lines between sports, celebrity, and influencer culture have never been blurrier, and it's not entirely outside the realm of possibility that this public squabble could result in a media showdown, a podcast face-off, or even a televised confrontation. The public has an insatiable appetite for celebrity drama, and when that drama involves the crossover of music, sports, and controversy, the viral potential skyrockets. With every tweet, Instagram post, or TikTok reaction, the fire gets stoked. Just a bit more, and the spectacle grows larger. What also can't be ignored is the emotional undercurrent flowing beneath this entire incident. Cam Newton has always been an emotional player, passionate, expressive, and at times misunderstood. Johnny Manziel, likewise, has worn his heart on his sleeve, even to his detriment. Gillie the Kid is no different. He's brash, bold, and refuses to back down. These aren't just characters in a sports debate. They're men with real histories, reputations, and deeply embedded senses of pride. That's why this situation has struck such a nerve. It isn't just about who belongs on a list, it's about respect, recognition, and validation. That's what's at stake.